Hey, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Eris, and today I'm going to show you guys two very simple ways to make bag handles if you are literally just starting out in bag making. So first, we're doing the water hose method, and this method pretty much is you are just going to use your material to wrap around the water hose. So today I'm actually using synthetic, which is like a perfect example for this. You can use fabric or any other light material, but what you want to achieve is a rounded handle. And today we're doing 4 centimeter for the circumference of the material we're using, and I'm just adding 1 centimeter on either side, and that is because the synthetic I'm using today is a little bit stretchy. If your material is not that stretchy, I would advise you put like another ½ centimeter. So the line I'm drawing here is sort of like a guide for my folding before I clip it down, but if you know your hands are not sturdy, you can actually glue everything together before taking it to the sewing machine to sew. But I'm just going to fold mine and use my lines as my guide as I sew as close as possible to the edge so that I don't lose any centimeter in this stage. I want my own to be very tight, and because I was confident that okay, the synthetic I'm using today is a bit stretchy, so it's going to be able to like really wrap around the water hose snug and tight. But if you know you're doing this for the first time, leave a little allowance, so even if you see it's too loose, you can still go back, maybe loosen the stitch and tighten it a bit, then try it again. So the water hose is lightweight, it's really sturdy, so over time it's not going to like fold or just like crimp up or something. It's going to hold that shape as long as you're using a very stiff one. If it's not stiff enough, even what I'm doing here, you're not going to be able to do it because you need to be able to push it all the way down the tube for the material to wrap around it and cover the whole thing. So thankfully this is coming out really well, and I'm really loving this color. I need to make a bag with this particular size of handle, so I just have this little piece of cellulose paper that I wrapped with synthetic, and that is just to show you guys how it's supposed to look in a bag. So if this was a bag, would have had like a proper panel and all, but this is just a test, so I didn't really have to make it big. I just sort of like drew out a rectangle because I needed something to be able to attach the handles to so that I can see how it normally comes out. So this method, you have to sew it in, you can't sew it on top. That is why the next one that we're doing is actually more convenient for people who want to sew the handles on the exterior of the bag instead of just putting it in the inseam. And that one we're using EVA foam. So it's pretty straightforward too. You actually just apply your contact adhesive or any type of gum you have on a strip of EVA foam. I sort of gave mine a tip because I wanted it to have like a leaf thing at the end. You're going to see how it comes out, but if you don't want it like a rounded end, you can actually just cut this straight. Just know that anyhow you cut this end of your strap handle, it's going to sort of affect the final look of your handle. So I'm just going to quickly check the length of my strap before like sewing and everything. But the first thing I normally do is sort of like an aesthetic thing. So what the first stitch does, it joins the stitching that closes the handle on itself and the other one that joins it to the bag. So you have 2 points where your machine is not going to be able to sew through, which is where it touches the bag and where your folding actually stops. So it's not really a lot, and it really depends on the type of handle you're making. Some people don't really do this, but I don't know, I'm like I don't like it when I see that gap, that unstitched area. It's not like it's going to actually unravel or affect your finishing. It doesn't really do much, but I just like to do it just for an aesthetic purpose. And after doing my filler stitches, then I can now start folding the handle before joining it to the panel itself. So again, if you know your hands are not sturdy, you can actually use super glue or contact adhesive to hold this together, but because I don't know, I'm pretty confident in myself that I can make it. So what I usually just do, I just use a paper clip to fold it, and that helps it stay in that folded shape while I sew over it. It might seem thick, but because it's EVA foam, it's super lightweight and the machine should be able to press it while you're sewing. So you just sew a straight line, again as close as possible to the edge. You want it to be super neat because I don't know, I have this policy about the top of the bag being the neatest part, because that's the first thing your customers are going to see. You want your first foot to be the best. So I'm just going to go and finish off. I'm not going to sew over where I already sewed before. I'm just going to sort of like back stitch on that area, and that is what it's looking like now. And the last step, of course, is to attach it to your panel itself. You can use any type of gum, but I like super glue because it dries super fast and is super sturdy. So you have to make sure that wherever you're using this to touch, you have already marked it. So I don't know if you can tell, but I already sort of like pre-marked it on the panel itself, because I know that if I make any mistake, the glue is going to ruin both surfaces. So when you are sure of where you want to drop your handle on, you can just hold it down for a few seconds before taking it to the sewing machine to sew. So for me, I'm super particular about this. I do not even turn on the machine. I sort of like use my hands to wind around it, because you are sewing on a very, very tricky area. So you have to take all the time you need to be able to actually join this to your handle. And that is how you make this type of back handle. So today we're doing this too. If you want to see more easy ways to go around making different panels or different parts of your bag, you can put it in the comment section. But till then, I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys very, very soon.